It was a crisp autumn evening when I decided to take my family out for a special dinner at a quaint, family-owned restaurant. The restaurant, nestled in the heart of a charming old town, had been a cherished spot for family gatherings over the years. Little did we know that this evening would be like no other. As we settled into our cozy corner booth, the warm, inviting ambience of the restaurant greeted us. The soft glow of candlelight bathed the room in a romantic aura, and the soothing notes of a live pianist's melodies filled the air. It was the perfect setting for a family dinner, or so we thought. Our meal started off splendidly. The delicious aroma of our dishes wafted through the air, and we shared stories and laughter over our favorite comfort foods. However, as the evening progressed, we began to notice something odd. The room's temperature began to fluctuate dramatically. One moment, we were basking in the warmth of the atmosphere, and the next, an icy chill descended upon us. My wife, Lisa, shivered, and my children, Sarah and Ethan, exchanged puzzled glances. Then, the peculiar occurrences escalated. The candle flames flickered wildly, as if dancing to an invisible tune, and the dim overhead lights dimmed to an eerie twilight. Sarah, always the observant one, pointed out that the framed family photos adorning the walls had begun to sway ominously. As we exchanged nervous glances, a strange hush settled over the restaurant. The pianist's music, once melodious, now seemed discordant and haunting. I looked around, expecting to see the other diners reacting to these unsettling events, but to my surprise, they remained seemingly unfazed, as though they hadn't noticed a thing. Lisa reached out to touch her wine glass, but before her hand could make contact, the glass slid across the table, leaving a faint trail of condensation behind. My heart raced as I realized we were experiencing something beyond the realm of the ordinary. Then, a disembodied whisper echoed through the air, sending a chill down my spine. It was a name, my name. David, it called softly, as if beckoning me into the unknown. Panic gripped me, and I grabbed my family's hands, urging them to leave immediately. As we rose from our seats, the room seemed to shift. The once familiar restaurant now felt like a maze of shadows and secrets. The exit, which should have been just a few steps away, seemed to recede into the distance. The walls closed in around us, and it became clear that we were trapped in a nightmarish labyrinth. Desperation fueled our steps as we navigated the restaurant's ever-changing, surreal layout. Whispers grew louder, and ghostly figures materialized in the corners of our vision, their faces obscured by darkness. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, we stumbled upon a hidden doorway. With trembling hands, I pushed it open, and we spilled out into the night, gasping for breath. The restaurant's exterior bore no resemblance to the quaint establishment we had entered earlier. It was now a decrepit, abandoned building, as though it had been vacant for years. We hurriedly made our way back to our car, leaving the nightmarish restaurant behind. The strange occurrences haunted our thoughts long after that night, a reminder that even the most familiar places can conceal dark and mysterious secrets. Though we couldn't explain the horrors we had witnessed, one thing was certain: our family dinner had turned into an unforgettable and nightmarish experience that would linger in our memories for years to come. I had always been an avid food enthusiast, constantly on the lookout for unique and extraordinary culinary experiences. This passion for gastronomy led me to explore a wide range of cuisines and dining establishments, from street food vendors to Michelin-starred restaurants. Yet, nothing could have prepared me for the enigmatic and chilling journey that awaited me one fateful evening. It all began with an invitation, a mysterious card that arrived at my doorstep without a return address. The invitation was simple, adorned only with an insignia of crossed knives and a single word, culinarium. There was no information about the location, and the cryptic nature of the card piqued my curiosity. I decided to accept the invitation, drawn by the promise of a dining experience unlike any other. The night of the event arrived, and I followed the directions on the card to a dimly lit, inconspicuous alley. At its end, hidden behind a nondescript door, I found myself standing before the entrance of an underground restaurant known only as the Culinarium. As I entered, a sense of foreboding washed over me, but my insatiable curiosity propelled me forward. The interior of the Culinarium was a stark contrast to the modest exterior. It exuded an aura of opulence and decadence, with elegant chandeliers casting a warm, golden glow over the dining area. The tables were set with fine china and crystal glassware, and an aura of anticipation filled the air as guests in formal attire murmured excitedly. However, my attention was immediately drawn to the imposing figure standing at the entrance, an enigmatic chef, tall and imposing, with piercing eyes that seemed to penetrate the depths of one's soul. He welcomed me with a cryptic smile, an unsettling gleam in his eye, and a firm handshake that sent a shiver down my spine. Seated at my assigned table, I perused the menu, which bore no descriptions of the dishes, only enigmatic names like Eclipse of the Senses and the Abyssal Symphony. Deciding to embrace the mystery of the evening, I ordered the chef's obsession, a choice that would irrevocably alter the course of my life. As the meal began, each dish arrived with a flourish, presented under cloches that emitted tendrils of aromatic smoke when lifted. The flavors were unlike anything I had ever encountered, exquisite and otherworldly, evoking sensations that transcended the boundaries of taste. With each bite, I felt myself drawn deeper into a culinary trance, unable to tear my attention away from the symphony of flavors unfolding before me. But it was during the main course that the evening took a chilling turn. The dish, beautifully plated and accompanied by an intoxicating aroma, held a sinister secret. As I took my first bite, a taste unlike any other assaulted my senses, a mingling of sweetness and savagery that sent a shockwave of terror through my body. A murmur of discomfort rippled through the dining room, but the other diners seemed powerless to resist the allure of the dish. I glanced at the chef, who stood impassively in the open kitchen, a malevolent grin curving his lips. Realization struck me like a bolt of lightning. The rumors were true, the secret ingredient of the Culinarium's masterpieces was human flesh. I had unwittingly become a participant in a nightmarish ritual, a horrifying obsession of the chef that transcended culinary boundaries. Desperation seized me as I pushed away the plate, but the sinister flavors lingered on my tongue, tormenting me with their macabre elegance. The room began to warp and twist, the elegant ambience replaced by a nightmarish distortion of reality. The other diners wore maniacal smiles, entrapped by the chef's unholy creations. In that moment, I knew I had to escape the clutches of the Culinarium and its malevolent chef. With every ounce of willpower, I pushed myself away from the table and staggered toward the exit. The chef's sinister grin remained unbroken as I made my escape, the grotesque apparitions fading into the darkness behind me. Emerging into the cool night air, my heart raced, and my mind reeled from the nightmarish ordeal. I had narrowly escaped the clutches of an unholy culinary obsession, but the taste of that malevolent meal continued to haunt my senses, a reminder of the darkness that lurked within the world of gastronomy. The Culinarium had forever changed my perspective on fine dining, turning the pursuit of culinary excellence into a nightmarish obsession, and leaving me with a tale of horror that I would carry with me for the rest of my days. The tale of the accursed recipe book began with a seemingly innocuous inheritance, an old cookbook that had been passed down through generations of my family. Its weathered pages were a testament to the passage of time, each recipe a treasured relic of culinary history. I had always been fascinated by our family's rich culinary heritage, and this cookbook promised to connect me with the flavors of the past. The book arrived in my possession one gloomy afternoon, delivered in a dusty box filled with relics of my ancestors. I gingerly opened the package, revealing a tome bound in faded leather, its pages adorned with handwritten notes and faded illustrations. It was a culinary time capsule, holding within its covers the secrets of generations of cooks who had come before me. As I leafed through the pages, the recipes told a story of their own. Each dish was a window into a bygone era, with ingredients and techniques that spoke of a simpler time. Yet, amid the familiar recipes, there was an undercurrent of strangeness. Hidden among the family favorites were a series of recipes with ominous names like the Forbidden Feast and Elixir of Shadows. My curiosity piqued. I decided to delve into the mysterious recipes that seemed to defy convention. Perhaps it was my desire to connect with the past or my penchant for culinary adventure, but I found myself drawn to the forbidden recipes, eager to uncover their secrets. One evening, with the ominous glow of candlelight flickering across the pages, I decided to try one of the most enigmatic recipes, the Forbidden Feast. The ingredients were far from ordinary, with herbs and spices that seemed to belong to another realm. There was an eerie sensation in the air as I gathered the components, but I couldn't resist the allure of the forbidden. As I began to prepare the dish, the room itself seemed to take on a sinister aura. Shadows danced on the walls, and a cold breeze filled the kitchen, despite the windows being tightly shut. The aroma that emanated from the concoction was both tantalizing and terrifying, a heady blend of forbidden knowledge and dark desires. With trepidation, I took the first bite. The flavors exploded on my palate, an otherworldly symphony of tastes that transcended the boundaries of the known. But as I savored the dish, the room began to warp and twist. Reality itself seemed to unravel, and I found myself transported to a realm of darkness and despair. Demonic entities surrounded me, their grotesque forms contorted in ways that defied reason. They whispered malevolent secrets in a language I couldn't comprehend, their voices a cacophony of madness. I tried to scream, but my voice was drowned out by their unholy chants. Desperate to escape the nightmarish realm, I clutched the accursed cookbook in my trembling hands. With great effort, I managed to close its pages, and in an instant, the vision ceased. I was back in my own kitchen, drenched in cold sweat, my heart pounding with terror. I locked the cookbook away, vowing never to delve into its forbidden pages again. But the taste of the forbidden feast still haunted my senses, a reminder of the darkness that lurked within the realm of culinary secrets. The nightmares that followed were relentless, a twisted tapestry of the horrors I had witnessed. I became consumed by a sense of guilt and dread, as if I had unleashed something beyond my understanding. It was as if the accursed cookbook held a malevolent power, and its secrets were not meant to be unearthed by mortal hands. Determined to break free from the nightmares that plagued me, I embarked on a quest to unravel the origins of the cookbook and the dark forces it harbored. My journey led me to delve into the history of my family, tracing the cookbook's lineage back through the generations. As I unearthed long-forgotten family stories, I discovered that the cookbook had a dark history of its own. It was said to have been created by an ancestor who had dabbled in the forbidden arts, seeking to harness the power of dark entities through culinary rituals. The cookbook, it seemed, was a gateway to a realm of malevolence, and its recipes held the keys to summoning ancient and sinister forces. With newfound determination, I set out to find a way to seal the cookbook's malevolent power once and for all. I sought the guidance of experts in the occult and consulted ancient texts on forbidden knowledge. It was a perilous journey, fraught with danger and the ever-present threat of the demonic entities that lurked within the cookbook's pages. After months of research and experimentation, I devised a plan to cleanse the cookbook of its dark influence. It involved a series of rituals and sacrifices, each more perilous than the last. With each step, I could feel the malevolent forces within the cookbook resisting, fighting to maintain their hold on the recipes and their secrets. In a climactic showdown, I confronted the darkest entity within the cookbook, a demonic being of unimaginable power. It taunted me with promises of untold power and whispered temptations that threatened to consume me. But I stood firm, channeling all my willpower and the knowledge I had gained into a final, desperate ritual. The battle that ensued was a cataclysmic clash of forces, a struggle between light and darkness. With a surge of supernatural energy, I managed to seal the malevolent entity within the cookbook, imprisoning it for eternity. The accursed recipe book, now cleansed of its dark influence, lay before me, its pages forever sealed. As I closed the book for the last time, a profound sense of relief washed over me. The nightmares that had haunted my nights were finally vanquished, and I had broken the curse that had plagued my family for generations. The accursed recipe book had been a journey into the heart of culinary darkness, a tale of forbidden knowledge and the price of curiosity. It was a reminder that some secrets are better left undiscovered, and that the pursuit of culinary excellence can sometimes lead to the most unexpected and terrifying of consequences.